Hello, everyone. Hope you are doing well. And I'm just going to wait a moment or two to allow people to show up. At least one. So tonight I want to talk about, obviously, more about what's going on with the higher self integrations, as well as what's happening energetically. And then we're going to do a reading. Tonight it actually has to be short. I hope not to go past 8:30. I have another call I have to be on at 9. So this will not be a long one. But right now with the energy that's working through, and I'm trying to remember, I don't think I've been on for 2 weeks. So I'm trying to remember what I talked about last time and where I am now. And so much still going on, working through the inner essence of ourselves and understanding how the higher self plays into that. And she is, for me, pushing me into situations and scenarios in order for me to work through the stuff that's blocking me from being able to integrate her more, but also to see if I'm really ready to accept her mission and drive that she has for where she wants me to take this next chapter in my life. And it has definitely forced me to have to shift a lot of my business in ways that I didn't think I would ever do again or do ever. And it's not anything bad, obviously. It's just that it was not in the business plan. In fact, I've had a coach since January, and I was on the call last week with him, and I just said, as a group call, I just said, my business is totally rearranging itself. I don't even know what to do with the program anymore because what I was working on in January doesn't apply anymore. So one of the big things that shifted is classes. I didn't think I would ever do those, not ever do them again, but I would think I would do that many. But there's a lot of classes that want to be had by my higher self. She loves to teach. She loves to show people how you have this power within you that's waiting to be discovered. And it's really cool. But we have to honor this process because this is what you signed up for. You had this first half of your life, if you will, no matter what your age, your first half of your life. And now you may find yourself wondering, where the hell do I go from here? And I just want to check that this isn't somebody who's lost. It's not. Okay, so where are you being pushed right now or guided to? I say gently nudged, because your higher self is trying to get you to either see something in a different way, trying to heal something that maybe has been following you for generations, if not lifetimes, something that you have not embraced before as an opportunity for you to explore that may open things that you maybe can't even imagine right now, because those are the keys. You have those keys. No one else can tell you what those are. I will tell you that themes that I have been working through, and the big one is guilt. I know I still have guilt work to do. I've been days of guilt work, and guilt is something that unfortunately we all have because it's embedded in our society, depending on our culture, our religious upbringing, our parents, society. We've been built to be guilty beings, to feel guilty to have pleasure, to feel guilty to enjoy something, because we either feel like we should be doing something else, or that thing is going to be bad for us, or we're going to take from someone else in order to have that. So examples of this is some people feel guilty about having abundance. Hi, Beth. And if they receive more, they go into, oh my God, I have more than, I don't know, someone in your family. And that that is sometimes can prevent you from being able to manifest more money or abundance in whatever way you want it to be. And that's a limiting belief that society has told us, that there's a limited amount of money. Money is just energy, which is ever expansive. So that's one. The other place that I've worked with, and I'm still working through that, guilt with credit card debt. There was a lot of that. Hi, Eileen. Guilt with food. Guilt with sitting on the couch for a half an hour and feeling like I was lazy. Those are all places, and I'm sure if you thought about it, how many other places in your life do you feel guilty when you do them? And the thing with this, and it shuts down our ability to manifest. It prevents ourselves from being able to experience joy in every moment. I mean, literally, guilt is the killer of joy. And your sacred feminine goddess who lives within you loves joy. This is her zone. She wants to be in joy and play all the time. And while there's ebbs and flows of that, she would really like it to be most of the time. But because we have this overarching guilt thing, it's really hard to get to joy, because we have that moment of excitement and we go, oh my God, I get that. And then the guilt rides in. And it's almost like coming to save the day kind of thing. And then you're like, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't do that because this is going to happen. And that's all because we somehow feel guilty. Now, guilt can be tied to worthiness, but through the work that I've been doing, it's not. A lot of it's tied to a lot of cultural norms and even religious. Now, I was raised Roman Catholic, so there's a lot of guilt applied in the whole Roman Catholic world. So it's intrinsic to who we are as adults. How do we get to be able to channel joy every day? You should channel joy every day. You wake up in the morning, you should be joyful that you're here, that you have another day on this planet, that you have money, that you have food. But it goes beyond that. It's feeling joy. When you eat a cupcake or a piece of candy or something that you used to enjoy as a child, do you actually allow yourself to experience the joy of eating it? Or do you just gobble it up? And a lot of people don't, and I'm just as bad at this. I'm trying to get better. Now I hear like slow down, to actually feel the food in the mouth and allowing the energy of it to fulfill you. Now, there are some things, like if you're eating spinach and spinach isn't, your favorite thing, but just know that you have to eat it, fine. But for the things that you're eating because it's supposed to be a joyful experience, we have to allow ourselves to have that. But I know for a fact, for my life, the minute I would touch that cupcake, all these other thoughts would come into my mind. So guilt has been a huge, huge overarching thing on that. And I did a video, I don't remember what day it is. I think it was on Instagram on that, because that's how much I've been building through. The other one is guilt and shame go together. I've been working through a lot of sadness. I had to work on getting my Kundalini energy to run properly, because that's the next step in this. And that was not running because I felt betrayed by Mother Earth. And I felt like I had betrayed her. So it was a double. And I wasn't, because I had that, I wouldn't actually ground into the new energetic grid. So there's a lot going on. And where you are in that process is going to be totally different than where I am or your friends are. It's just, this is how we've outlined it to be. But, there's other shifting going on. I'm being shown ways of looking at different things, shifting. And we have to be open to doing this. I did a reading yesterday with the Higher Self Council of Love, and the two cards were details and wide open. And this is the choice we're in right now. We can choose to be in the details, waiting for a certain thing to happen before we think we get what we want, or we're lost in the weeds, or you can stand heart wide open and be open to the opportunities that come and not question what they will or will not do for you. And it's okay to have a little bit of doubt. That's normal. They're asking us to step beyond what we have been able to do for ourselves over the last couple of years or decades, really, honestly, because things that you may have even done in the past and you thought, I will never do that again, I'm getting those to come back. Like there's things that I'm doing now, I'm like, okay, well, this is not something I thought I would do. I thought I was done with this. Not that it's a bad thing. I just never thought it was my thing. But I'm really excited about it. So, and I'll share at some point, I'll probably share next time what that is, because I'll have a more under my belt to understand what it really is and what it does. But I'm really excited by it. And the thing is that when I connected to this person that I'm collaborating with this, my higher self came through, and she was talking about how this technology that I'm working with is from ancient Egypt, and and I'm so excited. So, but these are all things I never thought I would do. But this is what the higher self wants. This is what she wants. And I am at the point now where I'm just like, okay, just show me. And that's really where we have to be, because I have no idea where this will lead me. You know, she keeps telling me that I'll work with a lot of people to help them shift their own life through this company. So, you know, we have to be open right now. You know, a year ago, I would have never contacted her, even though I scrolled through my Facebook feed and I heard go back. And then I went back and I was like, oh, they're like, just contact her. And the thing is that I would have never done that a year ago. And I would have never done this. But it's also had me work through a lot of guilt that came up around it. So it's double-edged. As usual, it's never just one. We have a lot going on energetically in the stars. We have big sun activity. We had a sun tornado on the weekend, which I had never heard of. We've got a full moon moving into Cancer, which of course is all about feelings, emotions. We had a T-square, I believe, of Uranus and Saturn, I believe, on Monday, which again is another cracking thing, really conflicting, very edgy kind of energy. The full moon, I would guess, is this weekend. Today is 4/22, which is Earth Day, but it's also a 22, which means it's a portal day, so the energy might feel a little weird to you as well. There's just so much shifting right now on the physical plane, and even though it doesn't look like it, it's still shifting within us, and eventually it will shine out there. But there's just so much going on. I'm still having those moments where I lose time. I have those moments where I feel like I phase shift. When I meditate now that I've got the Kundalini to run, I feel like all my cells are sparkling in my body, all of them, head to toe. And that's only started to happen in the last week. And that's that joy energy that I've been able to work my way through so I can experience the energy of joy at least once a day while I'm in meditation. Now, I always make sure that joy is actively flowing through my body through muscle testing, even when I get up in the morning. I know it's not doing today because I've been off, and my Kundalini is not working either. But when you get up in the morning, you can muscle test all these. Is my Kundalini running? Is my joy? Am I actively connected to joy? And whatever it is, so that when you start the day, you know that you have all those systems in line. Those systems are what's going to help you manifest whatever you're trying to manifest, as well as bring in the creative energy of the divine feminine. So all these new processes are happening, like things that people would talk about Kundalini. Now, Kundalini, if you don't know, is the running of the energy, basically up the spinal cord from the earth to the heavens. It's what, if you want to call it, it's the bridge between heaven and earth, and it wraps around like DNA, so it goes up and down. But a lot of people don't have that running. You can be grounded and not have your Kundalini running. So, and that's a big piece of this, where we're going. So there's all these new processes that are happening. And I've seen a couple of things that are interesting to come up. So I posted in the group yesterday in my Facebook group that about that game. Do you want to know how old your body thinks you are? And it came from a video that I had been watching earlier, and I just thought, oh, that's a great thing to try. And I don't know how many of you did it. I know some of you are in the group and some of you aren't. But for me, it was very shocking. And of course, this is coming up because to me, the physical body is, I don't want to say the hardest part, but in a way it is, right? So we shift energetically really quick. You know, like if I could snap my fingers, I would, but my left hand doesn't quite do that yet. Really lickety split minutes. If let's say max like a half an hour it takes you to shift something energetically or mentally, your physical body is a whole other thing. It does not shift fast. It's got all kinds of processes that it's running, and it has to have the nutrition to do it. It has to be hydrated enough to do it. It has all these needs. So when I was listening to this guy and he said that, I thought, oh, I'm curious. I didn't know. I didn't have any whatever. And I just thought, let's see. And my physical body, I was shocked, thought it was 71. Now, for those of you who know me in person, I am not anywhere near 71. So I was like, what is happening? So the thing with this is if my body thinks it's 71, then it's not going to run the processes that are needed to rejuvenate cells, to rejuvenate organs, because there's certain systems that break down over time, right? So stem cells, all of that, none of that. My body was just existing as a 71-year-old. Now I understand some of the things that I've had because that kind of relates. My father and I and my mother and my husband went for a walk. And my mother, who's 70 years old, kept up with my husband, who used to do track. And I was all the way the hell back there with my dad, who's 80. So when I did this muscle test, I thought, holy crap, like I did feel like my dad. That's exactly the energy I had. And so I was able to shift that, which was a genetic thing, to 55, which is still not right, but still better. But here's the deal now. Now that my body thinks I'm 55, it's going to start activating and rebooting the processes that had stopped running when it believed it was 71. Because your body's going to mirror what it thinks it is. It doesn't know that you're really your real age. So, this is something else, because here's the kicker on this, right? So I'm doing all this stuff, I'm shifting this, and this is something that I dare you to do. And don't be afraid of the answer. I asked my higher self what age she wanted my body to be at. 20, which I just laughed. I said, okay, but let's work on getting us back to my original age, which is what my body believed it to be. And just by shifting that, a lot of the pain went away in my body, because people associate pain with aging. So that's something to just play with. And I've been getting a lot of these like little tidbits around things that I haven't even thought about. The guilt around food and what I was telling myself to do. Not using a full serving of protein powder because I'm trying to save it. Well, that comes from an idea of lack, right? So you have to, if you're willing, you can lean into these places where you are telling yourself that you don't deserve or you need to save, because those will cut off abundant flow. So there's a lot of keying that's going on for me, where she's showing me where I have to lean in and examine things that I've been doing for years, maybe decades. Honestly, the whole food thing, I'm sure went all the way back to high school. I'm pretty sure about that. So to really figure out like where I need to shift those aren't her. Your higher self doesn't want to be guilt-ridden and all that. She just wants to come here and do what she came here to do. And so there's a lot of shifting physically. And I don't know how my higher self thinks that she's going to get me back to being a 20-year-old body. But hey, I'm game. But right now, at least my body believes it's my current age, and it will start to run the processes that need to run in order to maintain that age instead of 71. So who did that? Did anybody who's watching do the muscle testing with the body? I'm curious. Because it's such an eye-opener when you realize, let's say you're trying to work on health, I don't know, trying to reduce your cholesterol or whatever it is, and your body then reflects a different answer, and you can kind of see where your consciousness and your subconscious are out of whack. Hi, Elaine. So you would muscle test. My body believes I am my current age. And you would just start there. And then if you get no, you can say my body believes I'm older than my current age. And then if you get a yes, you can figure out where it is. I just went from 50 to 60 to 70 and just kept going up until I got there. And then I landed on 71. Or you can go younger. If your body thinks it's younger, woohoo for you. That was not the case for me. I was a little shocked. But it's something to play with, because really, honestly, the last step that has to happen in integration is our physical body needs to change. What you look like is not what your higher self wants to look like. Based on what I keep getting from mine is that you don't look like me. In fact, when I do video a lot, I'll hear her say, oh my God, like this isn't me. Hi, Michelle. So there's a lot of shifting physically that now needs to happen. And that sometimes is I don't want to say it's harder, but it's not as easy to shift our physical appearance as it is to shift mental or spiritual essences around beliefs. And so like, I know I'll be getting a haircut. That's been scheduled. That's done. She's got me doing all kinds of stuff because I now need to look like her. Like this, I call this cocoon hair. I've been in cocoon for at least 3 years, and now I feel this push to get out, to be out there. But at the same time, there's a little interpretation from her because I don't exude her presence yet through my physical appearance, because this isn't her. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm going to have, dark eyes or I'm going to be shorter. That's not the case. Hi, Juliana. It's just that how we dress, how our hair is, how our physical body appears, how much flexibility we have, how much endurance we have, has to become what your higher self wants it to be. And this is the last change that needs to happen in this, in order for your higher self to be able to exist in your physical body in whatever percentage that was agreed to before you were born. And to do that, we have to listen to our intuition about doing things that maybe we haven't done or thought to do. Now, when I got sick years ago, I gained a ton of weight, and I have never been able to lose it. And I had given up. I was like, I'm done. I would exercise and I would gain weight. I would try other things, and I have a lot of food sensitivities, so eating isn't always fun for me. And I was just like, but she's like, we need to get the weight off. And I'm like, oh, okay. So she's been, I've been going through all these different programs to try to figure out what eating style works for me to help my body get rid of it. And having to work through all the stuff around being afraid of being seen. Like, my real self is going to be seen, not this, like the person inside that no one really has met before is kind of coming out. And so you have to be able to shift with that. I mean, I've had dreams about getting my hair cut. It was obvious that was that. But there's a lot of things happening around the physical body where she's leading me to different technologies. She's leading me to different ways of being able to heal the body that I've not done before. And I'm very excited about, because she wants my body to be as nimble as she can have it. Remember, before in other lifetimes, we've had to physically die and then be reborn in a baby, which is pretty much a brand new skin, right? In order for us to then have a different iteration of our life. But in this lifetime, we're getting a chance to do it, for me, midlife. And my body's not quite where my higher self wants it to be. There's no judgment. She knows I've lived this life for this period of time. It's just that she wants me to exude a different energy. In order to do that, I have to shift my physical body. There are some shifts that happen. Your eyes will change. There's more vibrancy out of your eyes. That can happen very easily. Feeling energy in your hand, those are shifts. But these are like big physical changes. So I'm curious to see where this goes, because this is definitely like the new horizon. People were talking about, or I was even talking about, how we have to shift and work through the guilt and work through the shame and the anger and fear in order to clear the vessel. We've cleared the vessel, but now the physical body has to shift. And you can muscle test this. You can ask your higher self, do I look like what you want me to look like? So just so you have an idea, again, there's no judgment. She wants you to shine your truest essence forward. And sometimes we don't always do that, especially like me. I work from home. Most people don't see me unless I'm on video. So I don't, I wear yoga pants. It's not, but she doesn't necessarily like that. And I have to be willing to cross those lines with her, bargain some things. So if you're finding yourself be attracted to these things, know that your higher self may be trying to shift you to do things so that your physical body can start to actually embody the persona that wants to be reborn through you. So I do see that this is like the next shifting part, at least for me. That's where I'm going. And that's, when I found the body age thing yesterday, I just thought, and there's no coincidence. My higher self wanted me to hear that so that I would see that my body thought it was 71 years old. Because that's not how old she wants to be. She wants to be 20. And I'm nowhere near that. So in order to get my body to start to make those shifts, I had to get it to believe that it was at least my current age. So you can bargain with them. So it's not carte blanche, right? There's some things that you can say, maybe it's medium length hair to the shoulder. I know, Michelle, your hair is really short, right? So maybe it's just medium length and not like this. This is coming off. Next time you guys see me on video, well, at least on this live, it will not be this long. Could my body... I'm sure it's not, Michelle. I haven't seen you in a while. But you can step in. If you're not ready to go to whatever length she wants it at, you can stop there and cut it as long as you're showing progress, right? Don't resist it. If she wants it longer, grow it longer and be like, okay, I'm only okay with it here right now. Is this okay? It's an evolution. It's as much as your higher self would like it to be tomorrow, it's an evolution of your body. How long that's going to take, I'm not really sure. Could my higher self want me to be in my 40s? Wow, Michelle, that's interesting. When I recognize you, if I saw you, very different than what you had before. If you're not comfortable with it, you can ask her, ask her to, maybe there's something in a past life or something around long hair. Long hair is pretty much an antenna. The more you have, you may have a stronger antenna. I'm not really sure. I know it's a big deal, especially with Native Americans have a big thing with that. And I know when I cut my hair, when I was going through initial stages, I was told to grow it long, but now she doesn't want anything to do with it. So Well, long hair is much different caring than short hair. Could my higher self want me to be in my 40s? Yes. You missed that part, Elaine. But one of the other things that I did, besides trying to figure out what my body's age thought it was, I said for shits and giggles, I'll just ask what my higher self wanted. So I said my higher self wants my body age to be, and I got 20. So I know how old you are. It's probably about the same year shift backwards that your higher self. Actually, you have to go back a little farther. But yes, your higher self could potentially want you to be younger than you are now, and not 10 years younger. Like I said, I heard 20 and I laughed because I was like, how the hell do we get back to 20? I was, she's saying 20-ish. It's not quite 20, but it's in there. It was when I had the most endurance, most flexibility. I had more energy. I had less injuries, right? So we've all had injuries, between breaking a hand, burning myself. I've had all kinds of health issues in my 30s. So I'm sure that's part of it. So yes, your higher self may want you to be much younger. And don't be afraid of that. He or she is going to lead you to the stuff that's going to get you there. The thing that you have to work on is believing whether it's possible for you to basically get younger instead of older. Now, the technology that I'm starting to work with, that makes that possible. But I'm not ready to share it yet, but it will come because I want to try it first. I'm going to be the guinea pig. But this is why I'm being led to a lot of this stuff, because the higher self wants to exist in a body that mirrors its energy. I know that my higher self sometimes feels very stagnant in my physical body because of my weight, because of my lack of flexibility, my really bad endurance, my injuries. So if you believe it's possible, it is. The first step in this, though, is to muscle test to make sure your body doesn't think it's older. And if it is, get it to shift down into your current age. And what will happen is your body will start to regenerate the processes that wasn't running at the older age so that you can get back to your current age. That's step one. And once you're there, then you can start to work on getting yourself to be younger. Does that make sense? It's not advised that you go from your body believing, from my case, believing it was 30 years older than it actually is, to being 20. I have to go back to my current age and then go back to the 20s. So it is possible. We have to believe it's possible. To me, it seems like a big jump that we can all go back, 30 years and be entirely different. That means no gray hair. I had glasses, but I bargained with her that would have to be something that would shift. So maybe I'd have to go back to when I was 13 because that's when I had glasses. I didn't have a lot of weight on me. So I'm trying to even think about what I look like at 20-ish in that decade. That's where we are. I know energetically there's a lot happening in the sky, but it's the physical body that needs to change. It's like, we talk about rebirth of our higher self into our physical body, but in that we have to rebirth our physical body. They're showing me a toad, a frog. They're saying we have to become tadpoles again and rebirth our physical body. Now, again, there's no playbook for this. As far as I know, no one's been through this. So how this all shifts is going to be interesting. But it's happening. It's not, Michelle's, her hair is growing longer. That's all part of that shift, that your higher self has a different way he or she wants to look. And again, there's no judgment of what you look like now. It's just that doesn't see herself as that person. You are becoming a new person. We are becoming our true essence of our souls. And most people don't look like what your higher self looks like. When I work with clients and I see their higher selves, they do not look like the person that's standing in front of me. Your higher self has preferences. When I dye my hair, I've always heard you have to have it red. And that's because that's her preference. She's always says, I've had every hair color in the book. I prefer red. So just, be conscious with that. I should have muted that. Just stay conscious of that. Because she's going to tell you, if you're open, what length she wants of hair, what color she wants, what clothes. Pay attention. There may be clothes that you used to wear and were your favorite. And now you're just like, I don't understand why, but I don't want to wear that anymore. It's because she doesn't want to wear it anymore. Let's see. Between that and the witchcraft, you are not. Let's see. Knowing tells me more self-care, being active, doing fun things like dancing. So, yes, expressing the divine essence in us. But there are some, for me, and I can't talk about anyone, for me, I know that my higher self wants my body to make some really big shifts and in relatively short time. So, as I go through this, and I literally feel like I'm shedding a skin. You know how snakes lose their skin? That to me is how I feel this process is. It's like we're regrowing a new skin and we're shedding the old. So yeah, it's because our tastes are going to change. The clothes that you might have found comfortable or whatever, your higher self may be like, no, I've definitely noticed that. My taste in food has changed. I had something last week and I was just like, this doesn't taste good. And I used to be like one of my favorite things. So that's another thing that will happen. So rebirth, for those that don't know, is that we're birthing our higher self into our physical being, a new avatar of our higher self into our physical being that will then have a different mission, purpose. And part of that process is that we have to rebirth the physical body, which honestly, I hadn't thought about until I started to be directed to do these things. It's definitely part of the process. So pay attention to that stuff, that your higher self is guiding you to shift so that you, when you go out in public, that you are exuding the energy she wants to, which is, it is your light, but it's different because, a lot of us in the spiritual realm, especially, depending on what your past lives have looked like, we've hidden in the shadows. We have a group, a community that we share our gifts with, but we don't really share it with the general public, right? This shift feels more like we are not going to be in the shadows anymore. People are going to know by just looking at us because we're going to embody the energy of our highest truth, of our highest being, and there's nothing to hide that. Once she has worked you through stripping off the physical layers. Now, the physical layers could be clothing, it could be weight, it could be hair, it could be ways of doing things. It really could be any number of things. So we are coming out of the shadows. This is what this is. Once your higher self is fully engaged, she's not going to let you hide in the shadows. And I know for myself, like I'm doing daily Instagram, at least trying to do daily Instagram videos, because I'm hearing constantly, you have to be we need you to be a spokesperson, I guess. So I'm doing those every day. I'm learning how to use Instagram, which is what's slowing me down. I'm doing these more often. I'm doing videos more often. I'm doing classes more often. This constant, I need you in front of people. I need you in front of people, but I need you to be there, but I don't want you to look like this. So it's a very interesting energy, but we have to allow it. It is part of the process. And what your higher self is asking of you is going to be different than what she's asking for me. Now, Michelle needs longer hair. I need shorter hair. I know it's going to be like shoulder length, and it's not going to be like short. I did that once. That was not a good look for me. But this hair is way too long. But we have to allow for that process to happen. So my higher self wants my body to be 20. So if you muscle tested that and you got that your higher self wanted you to be younger, could you allow that process to happen without judging it, without going, oh, I don't know about that? Instead, allowing yourself to tap into, the excitement. When I bought this technology, my higher self was like, I could see her in my mind's eye, like, clicking her heels together with excitement. So, this is where she wants to go. So how that evolves for you is going to be different for each one. I just know where my higher self has been directing me towards to get my body to be more in alignment with who she wants me to be. She's pretty much integrated energetically at this point, but the physical body does not represent her. So that seems to be the last piece that we're in. Let's see, what else? I know, Elaine, I'm pretty sure that's the case, that you're okay with that. And you can. It's only through the stress that we have on the body just from work, family, food, whatever, causes all this breakdown of tissues in our body, inflammation and all of that, which then adds to the aging. So she knows, your higher self knows exactly what you need to do in order to get yourself younger. And she's going to lead you to those things. And like I said, it's really exciting with some of the stuff that she's been leading me to. So that seems to be the process we're in now. Now, I asked what the next big date is, right? 5/5. So, which is around Cinco de Mayo, right? 5/5. I always see 5, so I know that's a big thing. I always see 5 on fire trucks, 5 everywhere. So that's a big day. That's a portal day. I'm not sure what 5 means, even though I see it all the time. Let's see. What else you guys got going on? I'm still laughing at you, Elaine. Not laughing at you, but with the comment. And there's I'm doing a card reading for right now for the energy. It sure does. 5 is my life path number. It's the spirit of change and adventure. I'm ready for that. Adaptability, inspiration, curiosity, progressive thinking, good communication. There's a woman I follow. She did a thing on 5/5, and I can't remember what she talked about with the 5/5, but there is something with that, of course. My life path number, I believe, is 7. I have no idea what that means, but it's a 7. I've looked it up. It just never really stuck with me. If I remember right, I think 7s are visionaries, but I'm not sure. So if anybody's wondering, I believe the life path number is based on, and Michelle can tell me wrong, that you add up all your, add up your month, day, your birthday, and your year date, I believe, and then you chop it down. So for me, that July 7th or July 25th, so it's 7 plus 7 plus 2, so it's 9 plus 5 is 14. And then my year, you do the same thing, and then you continuously break it down until it's a single digit. I don't see a lot of 7s around. 5s, yes. Maybe that means I have more travel and adventure coming to me. I will take it. Oh, God. Okay. Energy is a little weird today. I don't really know why. Who else has felt the energy weird today? These cards are telling me that it's weird. Now, today is Earth Day. So it's interesting that we're getting these cards. Let's just look at something real quick. I'm curious. Maybe it will tell me. 7. So mine is 7. It's the path of intelligence. It takes you on an extraordinary journey in which your quest for knowledge is the main factor behind everything you do, everything that happens to you. You are the reality seeker who will accept nothing but the truth. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Yes, yesterday I was on the moon. Like I was so creative and everything was flowing. Today the energy just feels heavy to me. So this is the first card. This is wishing well. This was usually a card I like to see, but it was upside down. I need to turn this on so you guys can see better. This is wishing well. This is not the time to force anything to happen in your life, especially whatever seems to be eluding you. You can't demand that the universe provide you with what you want. Unmet desires can burst into a destructive fire of obsession. Step back, breathe, and take your attention away from what you want. Ask instead for what you need. Only the universe knows how to align desire, inspiration, in its manifest form. As the coin disappears into the mystery of the dark pool at the bottom of the well, have faith. Don't engage in wishful thinking. You must co-create with spirit, not make demands. You may yet get what you want. Never forget that life is filled with choices. Make a wish, but be open to the enchanted way in which spirit fills your desire. This is interesting because this is a theme that we do get about how we need to not be so focused on the results, because then we don't see the miracle happening somewhere else, a different flower opening somewhere else, because we're so focused on only getting it one way. So we seem to still be in this energy of void, and it's not always a comfortable place to be, where you're not the old person anymore, but the new person hasn't really come full-fledged yet. And in this space, they don't want us to try to force things to happen. Now, I know that can be hard when you're relying on certain things to happen in order for life to keep going, but very much asking us not to do that. Now, this is the card that I'm curious as to what the energy is today, because this is goblins. This is the card that is not great. It was upside down. That's why I said, is the energy off today? And this is a 5 card. We were just talking about 5s. It's often difficult to deal with someone else's issues because they impact your own. No one is perfect, but in this case, you're particularly vulnerable to being manipulated. Don't take this world personally. When the Goblin's card arrives reversed, it's a sign to step back with detachment. Don't let other people's stuff lead you into reacting from an old wound. Love yourself unconditionally, set boundaries, and your goblins will fall asleep. Love is the only answer. There is a lot of energy around. I had yesterday, I think it was yesterday. So I've been working a lot with Archangel Metatron, and he has a thing that he does with me. And it's definitely been freaking out my husband. And it was freaking me out at first. So anytime he tries to get my attention, or he's trying to warn me of something, the fire alarm goes off in our house, the smoke detector. Not the battery beeps, like full-fledged, like there's a fire. And I'm standing under it going, yeah, there's no fire. My husband comes running and he's like, what's going on? What's going on? And I'm like, yeah. So they only seem to use it when it's very necessary that I pay attention to something. I did a video the day before that, and I was for Instagram, I think, actually maybe YouTube. I don't remember which one it was for. And I had a stink bug flying around me. He like landed on me, which they never do. I don't like them, but they're usually on the walls or whatever. But he was landing on me. And then the next day, another one landed on me. I was like, what the hell? And then I threw him outside, and the smoke detector went off. And I thought to myself, what are you trying to tell me? And it was this energy. There were goblins around. Now, it wasn't in my yard, but it was in the area. So I had to work on getting it out. But I'd also had dreams that night that were a little freaky. I saw people shape-shifting into, I don't know what they were, honestly. They looked like they had been tattooed to death. They had tattoos all over their face, on their arms. I didn't know what the hell I was looking at. But that was around the same time I was getting this. So I had work I had to do to get rid of an energy somewhere. So that energy's around. I don't know why it's more so. It could be the T-square. We do have a T-square going on Monday, which is Saturn and Uranus, and Aries energy, I think, is still around, which is still combative. So that might be why that energy's there. And then we get the last card, which is Ride the Wave. So they're basically like, stay focused. These dolphins are having fun, right? Just don't pay attention to this stuff. This is distraction. When we're trying to force a certain outcome that we need to have in order to feel like we're part of something, we're in this card. And if you got weird energy around you, this is this card. And it's just knowing that it's there. Not from this life, Michelle. I've been dreaming about founding fathers. Ex-dead presidents. I have those show up in my dreams. Congress people. So they in the past, when I was, I don't know, at some point I used to have ex-boyfriends show up in my dreams, ex-bosses. Yes. Sometimes. So some of the things that can happen with that is they're using those people because they know that you'll remember the dream when you wake up. It may not, whatever they're trying to show you may not be related to them at all. It could be. I definitely have had some stuff that I've had to work through with ex-bosses, but it could just be that they're using that person because it's something new. And usually when there's something new in a dream, it helps you remember better. used to dream about strangers, but now it's that. Yeah, so you may be wanting to, your higher self may be wanting to process things from those years around those people. So one of the things that you can do when you wake up in the morning is ask if by seeing them was her way of clearing something with them, and then it's done. You just remember it, or you can, yes, because we are doing a lot of cleanup work while we're at night. We're astral traveling, but we're also working through stuff with our higher selves. So I know I've had a couple of dreams where I woke up in the morning and I was like, am I supposed to do something with that? And I heard, no, you just remember the processing. So if you have those dreams, just wake up in the morning and ask, is there something that I have to do with that? Do I need to dig into that, or is it done? And if it's done, then it's done. But you may pick up a little bit of this energy and then the wishing well energy. And of course, ride the wave. We're still moving through this. Okay. So we're going to go to the 1st of May. Dreams are windows. Our bodies, our higher self are doing some big time work at night now. And I remember, but I don't remember. I have more deja vu moments where I'll get up in the morning and think I don't remember anything, and then something will happen and I go, oh, did I dream that? That's been happening a lot. Sometimes I have a hard time remembering whether it was a dream or reality, which is our reality, but it's whether it's this reality or something else. Okay, so we're going to go to the end of next week for 2 cards, and then they want to give us 1 card for May. Well, the one that I had the other night with the shape-shifting, I didn't remember that in the morning. Something happened when I woke up. Something happened in the day, and I thought, oh, I know what I was looking at. It was after the smoke detector went off. I realized I remembered the shape-shifting that I saw, which was related to what they were trying to warn me about. I had to go clean some freaking BS energy off of something. Let's see. I don't know how we get more of this, but okay. You're good at remembering them. Like I said, sometimes I'm good, and sometimes I'm not great. If they want me to remember something, I will. Okay. So I'm doing next week. They got me up against the last day of the month here, and the energy is, I'm going to say, different. Not in a bad way. It's just different. Okay. So I didn't know dandelion tea could do that. I know, like, I was taking blue lotus flower for a while, but I haven't been called back to it. Awesome. So this is the energy for next Friday. This is into the unknown. Now, we've been on the journey to the unknown since at least November, so we must be moving into a new phase of it. Interesting. Wild turkeys. There's a crazy new food that I never tried before. What, wild turkeys? Oh, you mean the blue lotus? So I was getting hits to drink blue lotus flower. So lotus flower is tied to Egypt, and they would use it. It's used for many different things, but one of the things is it's supposed to help you with lucid dreaming. It did not help me with that. I slept harder, which I guess is good. I will go back to taking it. I just haven't done it. So this is, life is an adventure, and often new opportunities will arise that you won't know how to deal with. This is one of those times you're required to trust this new phase will reveal wonders and miracles as you step into unknown territory. Imagine that you are not only a pathfinder, but a path maker. Whatever your inquiry, trust that you'll be safe. Stay aware as you discover new and territories and vulnerable treasures. I think that some of us are dandelion tea. Now this is the last day of the month. That means to me that May is going to have some expansive energy, which is really nice compared to where we've been, right? Where it's been constantly shed. I feel like we will move into energy where new things are going to start happening for us. Yes. But they're unexpected things. They're not the things that I don't want to say hoping for, but kind of miracles. This is like, where does this lead me? And I can tell you that I'm kind of already in this energy with some of the stuff that my higher self's been leading me to. I'm just like, okay, I don't know where it's going to lead me. But I'm embracing it. But I do get a sense that there is something else for us next week, potentially, that we need to, I'm hearing honor, be willing to step outside our comfort zone in order to explore it. It's not going to be something that is going to be like, oh yeah, sure, I'll do it. It's going to be something that we're like, okay, but where does this take me? Like, this doesn't seem like it's going to take me somewhere. I was asked to pick them from my yard. We don't do that, but we do feed them. The birds love the dandelions in the spring. We seem to be entering an energy for next week where we're going to get the opportunity to expand. But it's not going to be in a way that we expected, and we're not going to know where it will lead us, which is sometimes some of the hardest things. We're like, okay, I feel like I'm supposed to do that, but like, where is that going to take me? It doesn't seem like it's the path that I've been on for the last however many years. But that's definitely the energy we have next week. And then we have this card, which, as I said, the energy is entirely different. Flying, which was upside down, which, could be bad, good. When you see the flying card reverse, it's a gentle reminder that there are times to take flight and times to remain grounded. And for now, you must avoid overreaching. There is still work to be done before you earn your wings. Be patient. What you seek will not be out of reach forever. Remember the story of Icarus in Greek mythology, whose wax-made wings and overconfidence brought him too close to the sun. He perished because he didn't realize his limitations. Humility is a great power, and now you must exercise it. Doing too much, too fast, too soon only serves to prevent a beautiful flight later on. So even though we got this energy of this new opportunities that are coming in ways that we didn't know how to or do with them, they're still telling us, like, don't go full throttle. There's an energy of having to let this unfold so that we can see more of the path before we fly. So this is the energy of the last couple of days in April next week. So there is some of us have been waiting so long for this to like materialize that I think there's an energy of, oh, it's here, I need to run. But it's more of a hold on, one step at a time. This is how, they're saying find the flow before you fly. And then we got her again for May. Of course, the divine feminine essence. We got Kuan Yin, and this is spirit of place. I will see if she, already knowing that she wants to come through, so we'll let her through in a minute. Spirit of place is upside down, though. I think we might be heading into whole new energy. Cannot wait. Okay. 4. Don't get entangled in details or desires that obscure the truth of your situation. Step back and ask yourself, what is the real nature of my inquiry? Even exquisitely seductive hidden agendas cannot conceal this. Trust your intuition. The spirit of place is whispering in your ear. You hold the power to tell the truth, first to yourself, then to the world. You can always distinguish between an essence that is true and one that is synthetic. Be honest with yourself and remain willing to let your situation be revealed for what it really is and not what you want it to be. An apple can't become an orange, just as a dog can never be a bird. Are you trying to change someone or something to suit your agenda? Only when you see things as they truly are will you find the real treasure. She's just asking us to continue to, as we move into this energy, I'm going to let her come through because she's going to be better at this than I am. So we got Kuan Yin. She's thanking me for letting her in. She, as you know, if you've been watching me, I get this card a lot and I never let her through. Today she's like, thank you for getting the message. She's saying, I would like to share a message about May. May has the potential to have lots of shiny items. They're not all made for you. Only some of them are made to become beautiful flowers for you, and know that each of you have at least 1 or 2 waiting for you. The seeds have already been planted, and the seedlings have been growing for months, and now they're getting ready to bloom. But the whole month of May is about letting them bloom on their own. You cannot force the flower to open, as the petals will fall off and it will die. I ask you to be patient, to ask if there's anything that I need to do to further its growth, whether it needs fertilizing or water. But I ask you to just honor the process. Some of these shiny objects that are for you are going to be so exciting to you. You may want to lift off like a rocket into the sky. But I'm asking you to come back to earth and land on your feet and really feel the earth beneath your feet. As some of these gifts aren't just for you, it's also to help honor her. She needs you to do these processes for many of you may receive. But take it slow, 1 petal at a time, 1 leaf unfurls at a time. Allow that process of growth to happen at its pace. Some of you may go fast, some may go slow, and there's no comparison. It will happen exactly the way it's supposed to for you. But I do ask you to embrace it. I ask you to be honest with yourself and listen to your intuition as to whether a shining object is really for you. Or is there something better coming? This is a process. There's going to be a lot shifting in May. And it'll be shifting in a different way than April was. This is an opening, if you will. I ask you to stand open with your heart open, ready to receive without judgment. And then if you need my assistance, I can help you show how you can flow with the energy as the beautiful flower that you are becoming unfolds. This has all been predestined. It's nothing that you need to do. It's what your higher self signed up for during this time. And he or she will guide you through it. Some days you'll have tasks to do and some days you won't. And I just let you honor that. I will give you a little semblance that if you allow yourself to really embody this energy, to really feel its essence within you and unfolding, that you will understand where it's leading you faster than if you try to force it. And you will also understand how much of what you've been wishing for months or years is finally going to come true. But you have to allow the process. You cannot rush it. Much like when you bake a cake, you put in all the ingredients, which you have been doing for years. But there's a certain time that cake has to be in the oven, or it's not quite done, or it's overdone. You need to allow you to be fully baked before you fly. Kuan Yin with her humor. What is this? I asked her if there was one more thing. She said, test the soil. She's saying, oh, I guess in your world it's test the water. Sorry. She wants us to play. She said, let me talk. As these new seedlings that you have discovered and you know they're yours, I want you to just tip your toes in the water and play with the idea of embodying them, allowing yourself to dream what it would mean to you if that happened or what was potentially possible. You may get that plus more, but I want you to be able to play with it. As you learn how to play with it, you'll allow that energy to just flow. If you think of a dandelion that turns into that beautiful white powdery puff, as it dances in the wind, seedlings fall off and go off to plant new seeds that then will bring forth new life for the dandelion. Think about this process as that. As you unfold in this, you will send out signals and signs and magnetic attraction to call in the people and experiences in order for you to unfold one petal at a time. Okay. So May definitely has a different energy for sure. Sorry, dropped some cards. Who's ready for that? I know I am. I'm like, okay. And I definitely probably the one who, if I was in a race horse, I don't know what those are called, before they let the horses out to race. That's what I feel like. I'm in that space. And I think if I got an inch, I would just be bolt. But they're like, slow trot, slow trot, slow trot. I'm ready. I certainly am. So we got two more cards from this higher dimensional deck by Starlight. I love these cards because they're pretty. They're shiny. Some of us have been working on this so long, we're just eager to get this going, but there's definitely an element. They're here. What did they just say? Slow and steady wins the race. So we have one same card, but this card is Celestial Assistance. And at the very bottom, it says Angelic Messages, Guidance, and Enlightenment. This is energy for next week as we build into May. Work with your guides. They already know what's going to happen in May for each of you, and they want to help. I know Metatron's been very active with me for the last couple of weeks, and he's not going anywhere. But they're saying a good habit for you to do in the morning, if you don't do it when you get up, is to ask for your angelic team to help you manifest miracles during the day. And it can be that simple, or help you with a task or something, because they can't help you unless you ask. And there's the energy of enlightenment. There's this energy of definitely transformation next week, which is really cool. And speaking of Metatron, the cube is on here. I don't know if you can see this, the Metatron cube. So he's very much present in this card. And he is helping many of us navigate the waters, he's saying, for us to get through this transformational process. He's saying next week provides big shifts for you to shift into May. Allow yourself to honor them. Allow yourself to see them for what they truly are. And if it's something feels off, allow yourself to maybe see it in a different light, in a way that you didn't see it before. And allow yourself to shift into that. If you have any questions about the signs that you're seeing and don't understand, please ask. We will help you. There's no reason for you to struggle through this. We know how to help you, but you must ask. Okay. And then this card we saw last time. Inspirational creation, divine feminine energy. And I love this card. That's exactly how I felt when I was holding the Journey into the Unknown card in the last spread. This is the energy that I can feel that is building as we build through next week. At the bottom, it says alchemy, the elements, and invocation. So we are in this creation space. And many of us have wish lists that we've done for years, but they're also asking us to fine tune it during this time. If there are any final checks, they're showing me an airplane. You know how an airplane, before it takes off, the pilot makes final checks to make everything. They're saying they want you to do final checks to make sure everything is in order and ready for takeoff. And then this alchemy energy builds into May. They're not giving me any insights into May, so but this is the energy that starts to build us into May next week. So that's pretty cool. So we're going to do dragons. We got 3 dragons on deck. I got the Leaning Tower of Pisa over here. Okay. Put these away. Awesome, Michelle. Yeah, I know for myself, there's a lot of creation energy going on for sure. But it's exciting to think that May is going to have a very expansive possibility energy. That's great. 3, 2, 1. Oh, I have such a headache. Why? So when I put those cards away, I flipped them upside down, and the card on the bottom was this. I have to get it. And I passed it off because normally I don't pay attention to the card that's on the bottom, but that's who's pressing through. and a freaking headache because of it. This is galactic guidance. Star family, assistance and cooperation. I'm going to let him through because either that or I'm going to have a headache. So hopefully short and sweet. This is from the Lyran Council. And then we'll do dragons. I come today because I want you to know that the galactics are just as involved as in earthly matters to help Mother Earth and her family of plants, animals, and humans to merge into this new world. Earth is a part of the universe that we are. So her healing and her rising affects not only Earth, but all of the universe. So many of you may feel, sometimes you feel like the stars are calling you, and know that that's your soul family sending you smoke signals, helping you remember your true origin in the universe. If you find yourself staring at the stars, just ask your guides or even us to help you remember what it is that your soul family that is reaching out to you from the stars is trying to get you to remember about who you are and who you are potentially to become and what you will be doing. Don't deny yourself this. If the moon calls, know that that also can be a calling card for a starseed family that is using something that they know you deeply connect with to connect to them. In this time you are now, you can call in your soul family and they can help you. But know many of them may not be on Earth. They exist on another dimension and another planet. But know that they're just as eager to help. But just like your spirit team, you need to ask. They cannot help you. You have free will. They dearly, dearly want to help. There is much information that has been gathered on these other star planets that can help assist Mother Earth in her ascension, as well as the rest of those who call her home. The time is finally right on your planet. The frequency is high enough for some of this technology and knowledge that has been lost, either through Atlantis and Egypt and other timelines on Earth, or have never made it to Earth, but are now ready to be explored and activated in order to heal the planet, to heal the animals, the fish, the trees, the bushes, the food. It's all coming. And it can very well be coming through you if you feel that call. But no, you might just be an activator who then activates someone else who would do something with that knowledge. Do not be afraid. You will only be what we know you can handle. Your higher self already knows what it is. You just don't know consciously. But it's time for you to remember. So if you feel called to stare at the stars, ask what it is that your star family is trying to help you remember. Okay. Now the headache went away. So now back to dragons. Yeah, you're not alone. Very well. I know that. Sometimes I work with the Lyrans, sometimes the Syrians. It just depends on who's here. I got a name earlier. When I was connecting earlier, I asked who was here, and I got a name. It was something like Alicia, but it wasn't that. That's the name of whoever just came through. Did you look up wild turkeys, by the way? What did turkeys mean, spiritual meaning? I would look those up, especially if they're blocking you. They're trying to get your attention. I don't know what turkey means. I don't know. I get a sense it has to do with family. I don't know why. Three, two. I like that 3 card, huh? And the dragon with staff. So even though no one chose one, I'm still going to read one because just in case someone watches later. And these cards usually apply across the board. So this is Father Time. Number 1 is Father Time. Father Time is probably as old as the universe itself. This commanding wise old dragon will aid you to still the constant mind chatter and just be. His presence supports our grounding and brings focus to the moment. His aim is that we let go of linear time, for it is a man-made concept. He says, his energy helps one enter the void. His message today is, now this moment in time. It is a gift, which is why it is called present. Allow all time to stop. Break your habit of clock chasing. For in reality, there is only now. Allow yourself to sink a little deeper into the abyss of quiet stillness and let go. Linear time is a man-made concept, therefore it is illusionary. It only serves to fuel the doubts in your life. I'm here to guide you to a more tranquil way of being. The stresses of your existence are often due to your preoccupation with time. Find your point of center, breathe, and let go. Whether these anxieties are lack of time or not being good enough, nothing is gained by being fearful. Stop setting yourself unrealistic timescales and such high expectations. You can achieve without making it so difficult for yourself. You as human doings fail to see that much of your stresses are unconscious, as they are as natural to you as breathing. Recognize them and release them. Okay. Oh, that's cool, Elaine. So this dragon, he had a clock and he was like, pushing the hand, tick, 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 and then he threw it on the ground and he smashed it. Time is one of the most defining things on your planet, and it's nothing. You only have this moment. There's nothing else. But people want you to believe it's there so that you become a slave to time. And know that many people, this is how they exist their day. They get up at a certain time based on an alarm clock. They go to work, they eat. Everything is programmed into a calendar based on time. And that is not how your spirit works. He or she likes to be in flow, spontaneous, allowing yourself to flow and ebb, and as the energy comes and goes in the present moment. What you chose to do an hour ago may be different now, and it's because you have shifted. You shift every moment. You shift in time in every moment. You shift in universal time in every moment, which universal time is unlike anything on Earth. This is just time that it takes for the sun to go around your planet or the moon to go around your planet. In ways, that is time. The time that you chase on the clock is nothing. All this energy wasted for thinking about what you'll do tomorrow or next week. What about what you're going to do right now? In this moment is where you create. It's where you create with a quantum field. It's where you co-create with Source. You don't do it 2 weeks ahead. You do this right now. So if you're planning an event, which of course has a time constraint in this third 3D world you live in, I want you to imagine that you're having that party right now, that it's happening right now. And what would you do right now in this moment? And plan from there. Don't worry about what the weather is like in 2 weeks. Create the weather right now. You can create that weather for right now. You're going on vacation. Think about what the weather is going to be right now and know that that's the energy that you're creating to have that weather at the same time as then. There is no forward and backwards. It's all one. So if you find yourself chasing a clock or being tied to a calendar and needing to schedule every single moment of your day, I ask you why. What are you afraid will happen if you stopped? We promise you it's not as you think it is if you just allowed yourself to breathe. But we know that some of you find it uncomfortable because in that space you would have to do something else, potentially be able to honor the feelings that all that doing is hiding. In those moments when you stop doing it, stop chasing the calendar, you have to feel yourself. You have to feel the pain, the struggle, the sacrifice, the sadness, anger, resentment, regret. But I ask you to honor yourself, to deal with it. And when you deal with it, you allow yourself to be even more present in the moment, and manifesting becomes easier. You can't manifest in the future. You manifest in the now moment. Only the now moment. But in all this doing and striving to be the best, striving to attain, striving to win some unsaid race, it's preventing you from honoring who you are now. It's preventing you from being able to look inside and see where it hurts. And allowing yourself to feel into why it hurts. And then eventually letting it go so you can be more present in the now moment, which is where the magic happens. So I invite you to just play with the idea of it. Can't stay still all day, that's fine. Take 20 minutes and just stay still for a moment and be present in the now. And allow the emotions that want to curdle up to come out and be expressed in a safe way. If you need somebody to talk to, find them. Ask Spirit to show you or bring you someone who will just listen to you so you feel like you have a voice as you express the emotions that have been tied inside of you for a long time. And once you find that place, you'll wonder why you ever chase time, because you really will feel that the magic happens in the now moment. Good night, Michelle. This card is, the next one is Manifesting Abundance. Magic and Manifestation, which is interesting because we just had the time card. They just want me to channel this one. So, Magic and Manifestation, which is 2 dragons. I'm being shown up in gardens. There's these, they look like orbs. They stand on pedestals. Sometimes they're fountains. So there's this silver ball on top of this pedestal, and it's spinning. And I'm seeing people run past it and then have to run back to fix it. And this ball is your manifesting energy. It is your power source, if you will, where all of your manifestations are birthing from. Dragons are saying, some of you are running too far ahead and getting out of sync with the alignment of this energy that is really present in your life. You've really been able to access the energy of manifesting, and it's grown to this beautiful silver glowing ball. If you chose this card, and even if you haven't, you can try to see if you can feel this ball between your hands and see how big it is. But this ball stays stationary in time because your manifesting items are not tied to time. So they don't move with you in time. I'm asking you to stay present with the manifestations. Don't get too far ahead of yourself. Let the things that you've asked to manifest to come to fruition before you start rewriting the game, before you're running out of the horse race, before you're ready to have your wings. Because this beautiful silver ball needs to be nurtured and loved. Every day sent gratitude. Every day sent love and light, knowing that you love all the creations that are within it that have not yet materialized on the physical plane. Some of these things take longer than others, but I need you to imagine every day when you get up, picture this silver ball or feel it in your hands. And I want you to feel that it's with you at all times. Ask if you have gotten ahead of it or behind it. You should always be in alignment with it. Think of it like your jogging partner, and it's right there with you, floating with you as your sidekick. So don't run too far ahead. We understand that some things are shifting around you and you have excitement, and that's good. Celebrate that. But don't get ahead of it. Allow yourself to always stay present with the energy of manifestation. It's ever building, ever growing, ever changing. And in order for you to be its partner, you need to stay in alignment with it, meaning it's right there with you always. And you can get in alignment with it by feeling it in your hands, like calling it back to you like a magnet. So if you were to muscle test and find that you're ahead of it or behind it, you can then feel it in your hands and think of it being called back to you magnetically and knowing in that it is now present with you. And as you hold that ball, send gratitude into it, not just for the things that are already shifting around you, but the things that are yet to come. And then also send the unconditional love. And if you feel called to, you can even hug it into your body. And allow yourself to breathe in those manifestations as you become one with them. They are not separate from you. They are not outside of you. You create from inside of you. It is the energy that then calls in the physical aspirations. There's nothing outside of you that's happening. It's all within you. And today we're just asking you to stay connected to this silver ball. Doesn't matter how big it is or how small it is. You may notice one day it's smaller and one day it's bigger. That's just the expansion and collapsing of the energy of the Big Bang that's happening inside this ball as you create new experiences and things with Source. So just ask yourself now, are you ahead of it or have you been ahead of it? If you have, it's okay. You can do this anytime. Just feel it with you and know that it's already yours. And that if you stay in alignment with it, it will all unfold perfectly. Okay. So the last one who jumped out of the deck is I always say this wrong. Asclepius. I read somewhere that this is actually an angel. I didn't know that, but let's see if I get a better. God. A lot of you picked this card. This card like jumped out of the deck. This is Asclepius. I just heard yes. Asclepius. Asclepius was a healer of great repute in his time, and this dragon in particular reminds us that inside us too are great healers. The dragon Asclepius has particular connections with practitioners who use healing plants. These are herbalists, essential oils, homeopathy, and flower essences. He also connects with all animal healers, including vets. Add to this rather shamanic energy and his connection to snake, he's a very powerful ally. All in all, Asclepius is the dragon of the healer and the shaman. If he has stepped into your spread today, it's to remind you that you can call upon his powerful energy, and together you have an immense combination of transmutation and transformation, accepting that your journey on earth is about life, death, and rebirth as we grow and blossom personally and spiritually. He says, you're on the cusp of transformation. Allow me to guide you forwards along the winding road. Remember, hold on to what you know to be true, for it is your journey and yours alone. Life never stands still. It's forever changing and evolving. Together we can transmute that which binds you. Let me drink first. Don't get all worried about what was just said in that book, because some of you may not be tied to plants, but that's okay. Because I don't just come for that. Many of you may have worked with plants in other lifetimes, which is how I connect with you now. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you will work with plants now. It's just remembering a relationship that you had with me long, long time ago. Excuse me. A lot of energy moving. Okay. If you chose me, I want you to really know that you're transforming in a way that I cannot explain to you, and no one really can. You need to honor this process and know that what you may be doing in a month or 6 months from now may be very different than what you do now. And I'm here to help you through that process. This is transformation, letting go of the old to allow for new to be rebirthed. There's shifting amongst you, and I would like to help you bridge the gap between where you are and the opportunities as they present themselves. Don't be shy. Don't step back and say it's not for me. Know that the opportunities that show up for you are exactly what they are supposed to be for you. Some people will receive similar and some people won't. There's no comparison or judgment. I would like to help you through this process for you to learn and grow with more ease into this new chapter that you're starting to unfold. If you are not already a healer, know that a part of you is calling to be that's your true essence that wants to be shown. But know that it may not be done through the healing modalities you currently know of, and there may be something else that's trying to blossom through you. Now, you may already know what this is. Honor that. And you may not know what it is. Honor that. It will unfold in the process it's supposed to. If you call me forth, I will help you take the right steps so that you can see how this is to unfold, how you're supposed to use the skill sets that you already have now and have learned in other lifetimes now. Shift and change. This is where we are. Nothing stays the same. Father Time talked about being in the now, but I also want you to know that even in the now, things shift and change based on the choices you make, where you put your attention, what your focus is. Allow yourself to just flow with the energy of it. As it shifts and changes, new opportunities show up, new perspectives that you didn't see before appear before your eyes. This is not about forcing it. It will unfold just the way it's supposed to. There may be some bumps. Let me help you. You can call me in. All you have to do is connect to your heart space and ask from there that I help you. This transformation is deep. It is not a shallow transformation. It goes deep, deep into layers that some of you have not seen in lifetimes. They are coming to the forefront once again to be rebirthed. This transformation is powerful. And in it, you will find skills and abilities that you not only thought you didn't have, but you may have thought once impossible. And all I ask that you embrace them. Allow yourself to lean into the truth of what they are for you. Remember, it's not about what other people are doing. Everyone else has their own tasks, spiritual gifts that are trying to birth. Your only focus is to be on yours. But you must allow it to unfold. Allow yourself to be shown how to shift what you're currently doing into something else. I do hold the energy of the shaman, which is about the earth. So some of you may find that your work is shifting so that it's in alignment with the energy of earth to help her as well. That could be plants, it could be energy healing, it could be really anything. Because everything that exists on earth assists her in some way as you are part of her energy everywhere you go. So allow your spirit guides and eyes show you where those shifts are. You may wonder where something will lead you, but just allow yourself to walk the path because it will just unfold naturally. Okay. Okay, so this is the cards for tonight. Thank you for listening tonight. If you enjoyed this, please like the video so I get helps me build my audience. And I think at this point I'm going to do every 2 weeks with this. We'll see. Next week's energy seems interesting. Play it by ear, but I think at this point I might be planning every 2 weeks. Of course, I'll post one way or the other. So have a good night and have a great weekend, and I will see you guys soon. Bye for now.